I was not born radical. I did not come out of the womb spitting fire and knowing what it meant to be racist.
Or that I should be bitter about hate crimes.
I believed in kumbaya
And kindness.
I defined myself by my name,
My age.
by my only child status. Race was not a part of my equation. I dropped out of Chinese school when I was 10 because I had purposely flunked my final. I was sick of driving down to Montville every Sunday after church to spend another 2 hours confused. I was the only one in my class who didn't speak Chinese at home, and the only thing I can remember from my 5 years of schooling is how to call someone a rotten egghead. My uncle, who I do not call Bobo, asked me every New Year's whether or not I am fluent in Chinese yet. I apologize and tell him no, that I am taking Mandarin at school. That isn't true anymore. I'll have to apologize twice this year. My grandfather was Catholic because his mother was Catholic, and when I was 10, I was Catholic because my mother was Catholic, who was because her father was. I don't call the church my home anymore, but still pray to St. Anne for my grandpa every year on his birthday. I hope he's happy in heaven. I believe in it for him. Lee means plum tree. Widely believed to be the world's most common last name. That's almost 100 million people on this earth, and yet people still assume that white is the default color because people still think it's my mother who's Chinese, people who have just met me, and people who have known me since I was small. Since when I did not realize the way I stood out in family photos, how my eyes were too big and too small at the same time, but I still thought I would be able to live my life having forgotten where my name came from.
I don't bow down to my elders or call my grandmother Hanmi. And when I went to Korean school, my name tag was written in English. Korean characters cannot clash with the sound of Korendi. I still don't know how to speak Korean, so you could say I'm not cultured. You could say my Korean mom succumbed to white America when she married my white dad and had me, a half-white kid. You could say I'm lucky for being half Asian. I can pick and choose which race suits me best on applications. Asian when I want to be exotic, and white when I want to be normal. You could say I'm one step closer to becoming assimilated, just one stroke of white, and you can barely tell that my grandfather came to this country from Korea with $2.39 in his pocket. He bought a Coca-Cola when he landed because he was so excited to be an American, so excited to live in the land of the free, home of the brave. Just one stroke of white, and you can forget that I have any culture at all, forget that light skin doesn't equal no culture. You can just barely tell that my father escaped communist Hungary at age 19 and washed dishes to make a life for himself in this strange place so far away from his homeland, where my family sold sweaters and the line for their shop wrapped twice around the block. But how could you say anything if you don't know that I can't choose to be Asian or white whenever I feel like it? If you don't know how culture has held my grandmother, how it held my grandfather, who held my mother and my father, who held me. If you don't know that culture is the foundation on which I stand. Don't tell me we can ignore race when kids are getting suspended from school because Afro puffs and braids aren't considered professional. Don't tell me we can ignore race when Western designers are being praised for their innovative collections of ethnic couture, sending hijabs and cornrows and two-paws on the runway because there is something so intangibly exotic about what we don't understand. Real-life people are wearing the same exact things on the streets of America.
They are being spat and slurred at.
They are being told to go back to where they came from. People are making threats on their lives over the way they are styling their hair.
Do not tell me that race does not matter when someone's life is at stake. Oh, America, you country of immigrants, please don't close your doors to desperate war-torn refugees seeking asylum. Please don't threaten to shoot those with black skin.
Oh, America, you beautiful melting pot. Please don't try to melt together all the colors of the rainbow into one. If you mix too many colors together, you get nothing but gray.
Don't let the beautiful pigments dissolve. Don't trick yourself into thinking it's better to be the same.
Race is an inevitability.
A constant that builds our identity. You need to be there until there are no more hate crimes left to write headlines about.
You need to be there to write new ones in color.
Eternalize your name, eternalize yourself.